welcome back to this amazing channel. This is Abhinav. From last 2 years, I'm making these video editorials of Codeforces, Codechef and Leetcode contest. And you guys have shown a very great support in my videos. So first of all, thanks a lot for that. And these regular CP contests, participating and practicing these questions helped me also to crack good companies like LinkedIn, Zeta, and Geeks for Gigs. And this all was possible because of a proper mentorship and because I solve these problems regularly. I do upsolve the problems and I do solve problems of Leetcode and Codeforce. So if you're also someone who is preparing for CP, who is preparing for interviews, who is searching for internship, but facing difficulty with you are not able to increase your rating, you're not able to solve problems regularly, if you are facing any such difficulty, we have recently launched Coding 75 Pro, where we provide one-to-one mentorship sessions and live classes of CP contest discussions, DSA classes, live project building classes, and CS fundamental classes. So it's a complete pack of your interview preparation. So if you are watching this video editorial of Codeforces, Codechef, and Leetcode, and if you want to also join the live discussion of these same contests with me, along with that, if you want one-to-one mentorship with me on CP, on DSA, on interview preparation, or in general anything that you need, you can check out the Coding 75 Pro subscription. The link is in the description. The whole schedule of the course is also present in the description. You can check that. The cost is very efficient, just 499 per month. That's it. But if still you have any doubt regarding our Coding 75 Pro subscription and how it can help you, you can DM me on my WhatsApp number, which is given in the description. You can DM me directly. We will talk about what are the difficulties that you're facing and how Coding 75 Pro can help you. So do join it now. Thank you.
Hello guys and welcome back to this amazing channel. This is Abhinav. In this particular video, we'll discuss about the problems of contest Codechef 135. Okay. Starters 135. So we will discuss the first 5 problems of this contest from A to E. Basically, these 5 problems of which is RCB versus CSK, football ties, invert and equalize, change A to B, and graph cost. Right. We'll discuss about these 5 of the problems of this particular contest. I can say that the first these 3 rounds were really easy. Now this fourth problem was of a good level, but also out of a medium level, and this one is actually a hard problem that we will discuss. Okay, so let's discuss all the problems one by one, that how we can actually solve it. Okay, so let's continue with the very first problem, which is RCB and CSK. Okay, now guys, what this problem says, this problem is actually saying what actually happened some days back, last Saturday. It is saying that there is a match where RCB batted first and scored X runs, and then CSK batted and scores Y run. Now RCB don't have to just win. RCB also has to qualify to the playoffs, for which they want at least 18 runs more than CSK. It means they have to win by 18 runs. So they don't have to just win; they have to win by 18 runs. So I am actually remembering that match. So okay, yeah. So that is what is given here. So see, the basic thing is what we will do. We will first of all see that, okay, what's the difference between the number of match, like the score of RCB and CSK, and if the difference is more than 18, that means RCB will qualify, not win. So if you have to just check for win, that okay, if a team will win or not. See, if I'm saying, we have to simply say if RCB will win or not. I can simply say if X is greater than Y, that means RCB win. Otherwise, RCB doesn't win. But here I have to also say that runs of RCB should be 18 more than it should win by 18 runs. So I can simply say that X should be greater than X plus 18, or we can also say that okay, X minus Y means the difference in score should be greater than 18. Any of that two cases will work. If any of those is there, it's RCB will win. Otherwise, CSK will win. So you can see I have done the same. I'm saying if X is greater than equal to Y plus 18, that means RCB will win, else CSK will win. Right? That's the basic thing. And equal also, guys. Like it should be also equal. Right? So अगर difference 18 है, 18 से बड़ा कुछ भी है, because we want at least 18 run. It can be also greater than that. Right? So if any other thing will be happening, RCB will win, else CSK will win. Okay, a very basic problem it is. Next is football ties. This problem says that there are two teams. Okay, there are two teams, team A and team B. So this problem is actually very similar to a recent problem asked in Codeforces around 946. There also the problem that there is a chess match between two two, people, a person, and one, if one wins, they get 2 runs, 2 points, and in the draw they get one point. Here the thing is little different. So if someone wins, so that person gets and that team gets 3 points. If someone loses, then obviously they will, get 0 points. And if the match is draw, then actually they get 1 each point, right? So they have to actually, basically in that match they were asking what are the maximum number of draws that can happen. I'm talking about the Codeforces contest, which was happened I think day before yesterday, or like maybe last week. Okay, I'm not remembering that. But what they are asking, they are saying that key, this draw should actually, you have to find, okay, for A and B, how many minimum number of draws can be done. ठीक है. अब देखो guys, what will happen? There are only two teams, right? And we have to find, okay, for possible scores that we have, what are the minimum number of draws that can actually happen, right? And there is one more thing, guys. There is one more thing. The thing is that the combination of scores that will be given to you will always be valid. Means that combination will always be valid. Means there will be no such criteria that, okay, this score is not is not valid. For example, let's say I'm saying the score is 5-0. You can see this score is never valid, because A can never get a 0.5. A can get 6, because in each win one is getting 3 points. So if A will win 2 times, it can get 6, it can get 9, it can never get 5. So basically, if a team is winning, they can get points multiple of 3. And in case of draw, actually, you will say, okay, Abhinav, but this can happen, okay, A won one match and then 2 matches are draw. But if 2 matches are draw, then 2 points B should also have, na? But B is 0. That is why 5-0 is not possible, right? So first thing is that there should be some possible values of A and B given. And out of those possible values, you have to find what are the minimum number of draws that can happen. Let's see how it can actually happen, right? For example, guys, that A wins, let's say A wins X number of matches, and let's say B wins Y number of matches. X can be any number, Y can be any number. 0 also. It can also be possible that they don't win any matches, right? But it should not be negative, right? So if A wins X number of matches, A will get 3X points. If B wins Y number of matches, it will give 3Y number of points. Okay? Means multiple of 3. Now, let's say there were D draw matches. So if there are D draw matches, what can happen? Both will get DD points. Both will get DD points. So if you have to actually find how many draw matches happen, so you can take mod with 3 with any of the two values. Not just A, not just B. Both will give same mod 3. Why both will give same mod 3? Because this D is equal, so both are having some multiple of 3 plus D. So D will be the modulus 3. If the value of D is, let's say 11. Matlab they have done 11 draw matches. But because we have to find minimum number of draws, usme we will assume that, okay, there were 3 wins and only 2 draws. So the overall answer of this problem will be that we will simply get the mod of 3 with any of the two values, either X, either Y. Both should be equal. X mod 3 is the simple answer. So one liner answer it is. Right? Cool. Now next value is invert and equalize. This is again a very good problem. This problem says that there is a binary string S given to you. What you can do is in each what we can say operation, we can select some substring. Substring is always continuous, which should contain all the equal characters, and we can invert the whole substring. Invert means 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. Let's say example. Let's say 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 1. Let's say this is the string. What you can do, you can choose a particular substring at once. Let's say you opt for this substring. You can choose this because it contains same number of characters. You can choose this. You can choose this. You can choose this. You cannot actually choose this. Why? Because it contains different character. That's the very first thing, that you have to choose a substring which contains same type of character. Right? Amazing. The next point is that you have to actually find minimum number of operations required, so that after doing these conversions, you have the whole string equal. Means whole string should contain same character. What we can do, either we can convert all the zeros to 1, or either we can convert all the ones to 0. Basically, if you will see, we will find how many substrings of 1 are present and how many substrings of 0 are present. Whichever is less number of time, that will be the output. If you will see here, this is the substring of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there are 5 substrings of ones. And if you will see for zeros, there is 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 substring of zeros. So which one you will choose? You will choose to convert these 4 zeros to 1. That will just need 4 operations. And you can convert them to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So all the string became 1 and only 4 operations are required. You cannot do it less than 4 operations. This is the very basic thing. Up like brute force approach, like it's not a brute force, but it's a fine approach. So first approach is that first find how many substrings of 1 are present, how many substrings of 0 are present, and the minimum of both will be the answer. Up guys, actually we can solve it in a better way also. See guys, how we can actually find how many different substrings are present. See guys, if you will see, this is a substring, this is a substring, this is a substring. See, like substring with continuous character, right? So this is a substring first, second, third, fourth. Now I'm not taking 0, 1 separately. I'm counting whole, that how many different continuous substrings are present having same characters, right? Up 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. There are 9 substrings present. There are 9 such substrings present, right? Up देखो guys, one more thing. Is it 9? If I'm not wrong, let me check. So 1, 2, it is 9. Okay, it is 9. Up see guys very carefully. In these 9 substrings, because 0 and 1 are present alternatively, that means 0 and 1 should have equal number of substrings. Means n by 2 substrings are of zeros and n by 2 substrings are of ones. Like maybe obviously 4.5 तो हो नहीं सकता है, तो एक के पास 4 होगा, एक के पास 5 होगा. So finally answer will be actually n by 2 only. If you will see, answer will be n by 2. N by 2 substrings will be the answer. You have to do n by 2 operations. Why? Why we know? We know there are total n substrings which are having continuous same character. And out of those n substrings, half will be of zeros, half will be of ones. So if n is actually a odd number, then we can say n by 2 and n plus 1 by 2. कि कुछ होंगी zeros की, कुछ होंगी ones की. अब इन दोनों में smaller क्या है? Obviously this is smaller. So this will be the answer. So that is actually your answer. So if you can find actually how many different substrings are present, half of that is the answer. Because half are of zeros, half are of 1. Are you getting? अगर 10 होती, let's say there are 10, answer will be 5. That's it. And also, how to find these substrings? There is also a very good way for doing that. It's not like you just do it. The very first thing is what you will do. You will find all those indexes which are not equal to its previous index, because that is the starting point of a new substring. You can see here, you can see this index, this index, this and this. These are all those indexes which are not equal to its previous character. It means from that index a new substring is being formed. Like from here a new substring is being formed. From here, from here, from here, from here, from here, from here, and from here. And you can see such how many? 8 indexes are present. And we will add one more, which is the first one. So total we can say there are 9 sub arrays having continuous same characters. And out of those 9 by 2, 4 we will choose for the operation, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So what I did here, if you will see my solution, what I simply did here is, I am simply saying that, okay, I will take the string. Now I will take that index if s of I is not equal to s of I minus 1. Means if I index value is not equal to its previous index, that means from there a new subarray where a different character is being formed. So we will count such indexes. And also at the last I will add 1 to it, because this first subarray is not considered. So c plus 1 and then divided by 2. So guys, this is how I have solved this problem. It is a little compact method, I think maybe complex, but a very small method of solving this problem. There can be other methods also to just first find subarrays with 0, subarrays with 1, and so on. But you can also try this method, okay? What we have done. Cool? Amazing. Next, guys, again is a really good problem. So like these last two problems are of good level. Like this I can say is a middle level problem, and this is actually a hard level problem, right? So let's solve both the problems one by one. Okay. Next problem says that there is a number a and we have to change that number a to b. Okay. Ab, what you can do to change it from a to b? The first operation that you can do is that you can actually convert a to a plus 1. आपको a दिया गया है, आप उसको a से a plus 1 कर सकते हो, मीन्स यू कैन ऐड 1 to it. Second, what you can do is you can actually multiply a variable k to it, and k will always be greater than or equal to 2. Means multiply करने पे increase ही होगा, because if k is 1 then multiply will not, will not actually help, right? So these are two operations that you can do so that you can convert a to b, and it is will be always be possible. Now you have to find again minimum number of operations that you should do. Minimum number of operations. ठीक है. अब देखो guys, what we will do is कि because see, when we are just adding 1 to a number and when we are multiplying a number k which is actually greater than or equal to 2, which is better? Multiplying with k is better, but we will multiply only till when? Until the value is not greater than b, because if value becomes greater than b we cannot come back. So we will multiply the number a with k until the value becomes less than b, and when it becomes, now when it is becoming more than b, we will add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 like that, but not in a very easy way. Because guys, if you will actually multiply a into k, sometimes this final value can be very large that even long cannot handle, because you can see the constants of a and k both are up to 10 to the power 9. So if both are 10 to the power 9 and we are multiplying a to the power a into k into k into k, the final will be very large number that can actually cannot be handled in a long data type. So we will actually use some different method for solving this problem. अब see what we will do guys. देखो हम लोग यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं. We are saying that we have to convert a to b by performing some plus 1 and some multiply by k. Can we say we have to convert b to a by performing some minus 1 and divide by k? It is same. By if there is a number a, you have to do some plus ones on it, then you have to perform some multiply k on it, and you have to convert it to b. Similarly, you have a number b, if you can perform some subtraction on it, minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, and some divide by k, it can become a. That's it. That's actually. So we will solve the problem in reverse order. Why reverse order? Because when we actually multiply a with k, the number can become very large that we cannot handle sometime. So instead of doing that multiply by k, do that in a reverse manner. Let's convert b to a by doing minus 1 and divide by k. A problem comes that we have to first see when do we have to do minus 1 and when do we have to do divide by k. That's also a point. कि भाई कब क्या करेंगे, right? Now guys, understand very carefully. You have to convert b to a, right? You have to convert b to a, and you have to convert this by doing divide by k and minus 1. First of all, when should obviously I will always try to divide this b by k to reach a, because that is a better way. By that method I can reach to a quickly in less operations. Minus 1 will take a lot of time, minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, but divide by k will do this operation very fast. So I will first of all try to do divide by k. Up divide by k also we cannot do always. There are two criteria when we can do divide by 2. The very first criteria is that b should be divisible by k. पहला criteria क्या है? First criteria is that b should be divisible by k. If b is divisible by k, then only we can divide it by k. Right? Up one more thing, as I told you previously also. We will let's say b is 10, okay, and a is 9, and let's say k is 2. Up in this case you will see that let's say we have to make this b to a, right? Eventually a to b, but okay, b to a, same thing. Okay. When we're converting this b to a, you can say, okay, B is divisible by K. You can divide B by K. But after dividing, the final value is becoming what? Less than A. So this final value should not be less than A. Means when you will divide B by K, this final value should be greater than equal to A. It should not be less than A. Are you getting? I hope you got. Right? So if both these things are happening, because in this case you will simply do a minus 1. You will not actually do a divide by K. Or we can eventually say it will be a plus 1 from here. Right? We are doing reverse, right? So the very first case is कि if B modulus K is 0 and B modulus K, B by K is greater than equal to A, that means what we can do, we can actually divide our B by K and we can increase our count that okay, we have done one operation of divide by K or eventually multiply by K in the case of A. So you can see my code also what I'm doing. First of all, I'm checking that if my B is divisible by K and B by A is greater than equal to K. So why is like we are saying B by K should be greater than equal to A. So we can also say B by A should be greater than equal to K. Just I'm replacing that. That time I thought of this. Okay. So this is what we do. And if this is both the cases are true, we will increase our count and we will actually divide our B by K. And dividing will actually not make any integer overflow or long overflow, nothing, right? Up the second case comes that okay, B is actually divisible by K, as as I showed this case to you. Let's say B is actually divisible by K. There's another case also. Let's take a better case. Let's say B is 20 and let's say K is 4 and A is 13. If you will see, you can actually divide this B by K and you can make it equal to 5. You can make this B to 5. But you should not make it 5. Why? Because if you will make this 5, A is 13. You cannot go less than 13. You have to go to 13. Na? That means you cannot actually do this division. You cannot divide B by K. Even if you can, but you should not. Because if you will divide B by K, it will go less than A. So in this case, actually we will not divide B by K. In this case, we will simply do minus 1 operations. How many number of times? The difference. Whatever is the difference, that much number of times this minus 1 operation will happen. So means if this is true, but this is not true, then what to do? So you can see here, in the else part I am saying, if B is divisible by K, if B is divisible by K, but, if B is divisible by K, but I will say that if this B by K is less than A, means we should not divide it by K, but we have to simply do minus 1. How many times? Whatever is the difference. So आप यहाँ पे देखो, we have to do 7 times minus 1. 7 times minus 1, which is the difference of B and A. So you can see in the count also I'm adding the difference of B and A because that much number of times we have to actually perform the minus 1 operation. And then we will eventually break also because after performing these operation, that number of time, B will actually become equal to 30, which is equal to A. So we will stop. We will then not continue a loop. Now the very else case comes when even B is not divisible by K. See guys, let's say your B is 23, your A is again let's say 17 or let's say 14 and your K is let's say 5. Okay. Maybe okay wait. Let's say A is 2. Maybe it is fine. Okay, you can perform this divide by K here, but with this B you cannot perform divide by K. But it also doesn't mean okay all the operations you will do with minus 1 only. No. So if B is not divisible by K, that doesn't mean you will do all the operations minus 1. You will try to make B to a number which is actually divisible by K. So B क्या होगा means how many times we should do minus 1 so that B becomes divisible by K. You can see that if you will find the value of B modulus K, it is 23 modulus 5, which is 3. So if you will eventually do minus 3, means minus 1 3 times, it will become 0. And now from this 20, you can divide it by 5 and it will become 4. So basically, when a B is not divisible by, so this case वही है ना, ये case वही है. This case will come when B is not divisible by 0. So if B is not divisible by 0, you will actually find that the mod of B with K, which is let's say 3 here. And then 3 number of times you will actually perform the minus 1 operation. So that 3 will also be subtracted from the B and it will also be added in the count. Okay. So this is actually guys what will happen, and finally we will output our count. whatever the count is. That's it. That's it. Let's take a very basic example. Let's take a very basic example which maybe they have given. So let's take the example that only. Let's say it is 33 and let's say 4. And let's say k is that 5 only. Okay. Now if k is 5, what will happen? First of all, you can see this b is actually not divisible by k. So we will do -1. How many times? 3 times. So count will become 3 and 3 times what will happen? Now you can see it is divisible by k and also b by k is greater than or equal to a. So now we will perform one more operation of just dividing it by 5. Now k becomes 6. Now from 6 to 4 you cannot divide k. Now you should again do what? Uh, now you will actually first try to just subtract 1 because it is not divisible by k. Na? You will subtract 1, you will make it divisible by k. One more operation. And now from 5 to 4 also you will not divide k. You will again do a -1 and it will become 4. So in 6 steps you can actually convert b to a. And in the vice versa 6 steps you can convert a to b also. How? See. पहले a से a4 था +1 किया, again +1, then into 5, then +1 +1 +1 3 times. So you can see first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So same number of operations in the reverse way. A to B also and similarly B to A also. तो यहाँ पे जो -1 कर रहे थे, here it's +1. यहाँ -3 था, यहाँ पे +3 है. यहाँ पे divide by 5, here multiply by 5. Same, no change. But just to handle the integer overflow, because if you multiply A with some number, it will become a very large number sometime that you can't handle. Okay. So I hope that you have got the understanding of this particular problem. But still, if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me in the comment section, or you can also join our Telegram channel to ask your doubt. Okay, amazing. So before moving forward in the video, let me get a chance to tell you guys about Coding 75 Pro, where we conduct live DSA classes, weekly project sessions, CS fundamental classes, one-to-one mentorship and resume review sessions. Also, you will get a chance to join our pro community where you can interact with other coders and students like you. So overall, it is a complete plan for your interview preparation. This all is just at the price of less than 20 rupees per day. So you can join this Coding 75 Pro by visiting our website coding75.com, and then we will crack great companies together. Now let's move to the last problem, and actually a really good problem of this contest, which is graph cost. This problem is actually a graph, like not actually a graph problem, like we are actually not using any graph algorithm or something here, but it's based on graph. So problem says that you are having an array A and you are also having a graph, a complete weighted graph of n nodes with n into n minus 1 by 2 edges. So basically in a complete graph, we have this much number of edges, and the weight of each node between I to j is difference between I and j multiplied by maximum of ai and aj. Right, that's the weight between two edges. So let's first build a graph of this kind. And okay, eventually the problem says that you have to find the minimum distance between nodes 1 to node 1 to node n. So we have two nodes A and N. You have to reach from A to N. What's the minimum path to go there? Just like Dijkstra. But okay, we will not apply Dijkstra here, because to apply Dijkstra, we have to actually find distance between two nodes. And for that it will require n square time complexity. And n square time complexity will give you time limit exceeded. So we will actually not use Dijkstra here because we can't find weight for each edge separately. So we have to actually use a different method here. That is why it's not actually a graph problem, because if we use Dijkstra, if we can use actually some graph algorithm or something, we can actually use it. But it's more of a different type of problem. Let's discuss the problem. So let's take a sample discuss from here itself. Let's say 2, 4, 5, 2, 3. So let's say the array given to you is 2, 4, 5, 2, 3. Okay, this is the array given to you. But what you can do is, you have to first of all create a completed graph of 4 nodes. Okay, so if you will see, let's say this is the node first, node second, node third, node fourth, and node fifth. Completed graph means between every two node there will be an edge. Okay, so I'm making an edge between every two node. This is how we make it. Now you can see there is an edge between every two node. Okay. Up according to them, you will see that we are having the like the array. Okay. Up what is the weight of these edges? So weight is basically, we can say, first of all, let's number these edges. So let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Now let's say find the weight between 1 and 2. So weight between the edge 1 and 2 will be difference of 1 and 2, which is 1, multiplied by maximum of ARR of 0. And like, okay, we can also do one thing. We can start these indexing from 0. It will be better for us, 0 based indexing. Okay. So basically difference between this will be 1, obviously. Multiply by maximum of ARR 0, ARR 1, which is 4. Similarly, let's say 0 with 2. So 0 with 2 difference is 2 and maximum is 5. So it is 10. Then 0 to 3 difference is 3 and maximum is 2. So 6. Now 0 to 4 difference is 4. Multiply by maximum is 3. So 12. And you have to eventually move from 0 से लेके 4 तक. Like from 1 to n, or we are taking 0 based indexing. So from 0 to 4, what's the minimum distance? Right. So if you will see guys here, and not just from 0 guys, like from 1 to 2 also we will find. Like 1 to 2 difference is 1 and maximum is 5. Then 1 to 3. Okay, I have not built from 1 to 3. Huh. Up like similarly from 1 to 3, difference is 2 and the maximum is 4. Now from 1 to 4, difference is 3, maximum is 1 to 4 only. Right. Similarly, from 2 we can say, so from 2 to 0 is already taken. Like from 2 to 3, difference is 1 and maximum is 5. From 2 to 4, difference is 2, maximum is 5. Now from 3 to 4, difference is 1 and maximum is 3. So this is how for every, you can see, edge I have found its what? Its weight. So I'm circling it with the circle so that you can understand. Here weight is 4, here it's 12, here it's 8, 5, 5, 3, 10, 6, 12, and here it's 10. Up, let's say you have to move from index number 0 to 4. So how you will move? First way is simple from 0 to 4, but it will take 12 amount of distance. Okay, if you will go like this, let's say this will take 10 plus 10, 20. Okay, very large, ignore it. Next, let's say we can take this. This is actually 6 plus 3, 9. And you can even see that the answer for this is also 9. Like from to reach from 0 to 4, you will actually go from 0 to 3, then to 4. Because 0 to 3 takes 9, this takes 3, eventually it's 12, which is the minimum possible. Okay, not. This takes 6 and this takes 3. Eventually it's 9, which is minimum possible. We cannot get less than 9. So you can see 9 is the answer here. Okay. Now guys, how we can actually find this. So what we will do guys, I am first of all doing everything back so that we can have a clear graph here. I will make a very clear graph, no weight and all. Okay, and I will just add a line here which was not there previously. Now guys, what we will do, first of all, see, we have, what is the weight? Weight is actually, what is the formula of weight? If we will write the formula of weight, it is actually difference between the indexes multiplied by the maximum of AI into AJ. Okay. Up, if we have to find minimum weight, so what we will find? We will find the numbers which have less value of A. Means which indexes have less value of A? Index number this, index number this, index number this. So we will first choose for those indexes which have less value of A, na? Because eventually we want lesser W. If we want lesser weight from 0 to 4, so we need less value of A's. How we can do that? So guys, for every index, first of all, I will find from that index, or we can say after that index, which is the index which has the smaller value of A, that I will store. So like that was a observation that I made. I will tell you the whole logic, okay, how it is actually done. So the thing is, see guys, like intuition behind this is why we are doing this all. Let's say you are currently here. When you are at a particular index, let's say 0, from this node you have two options. Either from this node directly move to node number 1, or or move to some, like, so this is a very basic path. Okay, you simply move from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. This is a very basic path. But the second way is like you can go to any of the moves directly. Like you can go to 2 also, 3 also, 4 also. Right? You can move to any of the one of that. But if you know which one is having the minimum weight, or weight means which one is having the minimum value of AI, आप वहीं पे जाओगे ना भाई. You basically know कि okay, 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there. But where you will go from this 0? You will go to a point which is having a minimum value of A. That's it. That's a very basic thing. You will go to a point which will actually have the minimum value of A. Right? So that is why for every node I will store in a vector, for every index which is the next index which is having the minimum value of A, which is the next index after it, where it should go, or otherwise it will simply go from I to I plus 1. That's it. These are two possible ways. So for doing that, if you will see my code also, what I'm doing is, I'm taking a vector. So I will give a dry run like with this same test case, don't worry. So I will take a vector. Okay. Now this vector size will also be n, like the size of whatever nodes we have. So let's say this is the vector with actually size 5 only. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This is what we will do. And every, like, this is a pair, okay, vector of pair. So let's say it contains two things, first and second, two elements, right? Up, this element will actually store that for every index, which is the index which has the minimum value of AI, and what's the index, what's the value of that index, and what is that index, right? So initially I will start from the back. You can say it's a prefix type of thing that we are doing, a suffix type of thing, like we are moving from the back. So it's a suffix minimum that we are finding. Okay, so initially we have taken our minimum as the last element 3, and our index also as the last element 4. So initially our mn is this, and index is also the last ind. It is also last index. So this is our what the minimum currently we are having, right? So for our this, our minimum will be 3 and index will be 4. So this basically means कि okay, after this index or maybe that index also. So इसके लिए जो index है, 3 is the minimum and 4 is the index that is having the minimum value, and 3 is the minimum value that is present at or after that index, right? Amazing. Now what will happen next? Next it will be, we will move back. When we will actually move back at, let's say, I minus 2, n minus 2, n minus 3, we will get the minimum. Let's say if we got an index which is lesser than this minimum, we will make that index minimum, and then we will update our index also. So let's say हम लोग यहाँ पर आए. When we come here, currently our minimum was 3 and index was 4. But when we came here, our minimum became 2, index became 3. So here 2 and 3 came. When we moved forward, for this 5 there will be no change. Still it will be 2 and 3. When we came here, again no change, 2 and 3. When we came here, actually it's equal. So we'll consider that only. So it will be taken, 2 will be as it is, and index will be 0. So it will be 2 and 0. So this is how we will find a suffix minimum type of thing. So that it will tell you, okay, for every index which is the value which is present after it and is the minimum value. For example, let's say if I will say, let's say for index number 2. So for index number 2, the minimum value present after it is 2 at index number 3. This is what this vector pair is telling you. So that we should know, okay, if we are at a point, next to which point we should go, that we should know na. That's the intuition. That is why I am storing it in a vector. Right? Amazing. अब देखो next what I am doing. अब देखो simply if n is 1, our answer will be 0. For single node there will be no cost. अब next thing is, guys, that we will start from our first node. So I will do one thing. I will actually move this little below. ठीक है? Just give me 1 minute. अब देखो, see one thing. Here we will do two things, right? I will first of all take a variable sum. अभी sum variable का store करेगा? This sum variable will store that if you will go simple in order, let's say you will go from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, then what will be the cost? This is what this sum will store, because see, we have to consider both the things. As I told you previously also, let's say you are currently at 0, up from that 0 you can definitely go to 1. There is always an option. But from that 0 you can also go to 3, 2, 3 and 4. But how to choose? Okay, either 2, either 3, either 4. That you can choose using that vector that you have created. You will go where the minimum is present, right? So, but in this sum, we'll always consider that case that if you are just going forward, nothing else, nowhere else, then what will happen? So this sum will store, it will zero, right? And as guys, let's say if we are going from 0 to 1. So we will see when you are going in a continuity from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, there is no difference between the index. Difference is only 1. So as our formula was difference in index multiplied by maximum of ai comma aj. तो वो तो खत्म हो गया because this difference is 1 only. Finally our weight will be maximum of ai and aj. That will be our weight. So if you will see here, we are running a loop from 1 to n, and for every loop I am adding maximum of ai and ai minus 1 to my sum, because difference between index will be 1 only. And then what will be the weight? Weight will be simply maximum of the current index and the previous index where the edge is present. So I'm adding it in the sum. Now the thing comes ki, okay, Abhinav, like we are adding it, but always you will not just move from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. No, this will not happen always. When should we actually take a whole, gap? Because what we are doing is, initially we had our cost 0. This cost will actually have our answer, okay? And initially we have these three things. We again have a mn, which is our current initial value 0. Then we have our index, which is also 0. Now we are finding okay, where we currently are, which is the current minimum that we have. Now this, what is there? Previously we are storing the minimum from the back. So we taken initially mn as a of n minus 1, ind as n minus 1. Now we are taking minimum from the front. So I'm taking mn as a0, index as 0. Why we are doing that? You can see initially we are at this place. This is the minimum place we know till now. Up see guys, this is the minimum we know. Up next minimum we will go only to that place which is less than this minimum. We will only go next to that place which is less than this minimum and which also doesn't have more minimum after it. For example, this is 2. Up from this 2, you will not go to 4. Because if you will go to 4, 4 is a maximum number. It will actually increase the weight. You will not try to go to 4. The next is 5. You will also not, try to go to 5. Because 5 is again, a greater number. So either you will get a AI less than mn, you will simply move forward. Up when you will get a number which is less than this minimum, and that number is actually a minimum. Matlab, see, for example, you will see for this number 2, its vi value is also 2. For this number 2, its vi value is also 2. That simply means that there is no other number less than 2 present after it. Means 2 is the only number which is lesser. इसके बाद इससे नंबर कोई भी नहीं है. You can see 5 के लिए यहाँ पर 2 है, 4 के लिए भी 2 है. Means after 4 and 5, 2 is present, which is smaller. But after 2, there is no smaller number present. So 2 के लिए 2 ही है, right? So whenever we will get a number ai, which is actually equal to its own index का first, means this is the only smaller number. There is no number after it. Either this is a or, this is not an and. Either this is the condition, या फिर ai is less than m. This is the condition. Any of the two conditions are present. That means from this 0, we can directly jump to here. In this case, that index is this. We can directly jump to here. So as I said, they were both the ways. First way was simply go forward like this. That way we are already storing in this sum. तो इस सम में दैट विल ऑलरेडी बी स्टोर कि अगर हम 0 से 1 पे आएंगे, 1 से 2 पे आएंगे, 2 पे 3 में, तो क्या होगा, वो हम इस सम में स्टोर कर रहे हैं कि अगर हम 0 से 1 में आ रहे होंगे, 1 से 2 में जा रहे होंगे, 2 से 3 में जा रहे होंगे, तो क्या होगा, वो हम इस सम में स्टोर कर रहे हैं. बट जब हम इस 2 में आए, हमने कहा भाई ये 2 तो मिनिमम है, क्या हम यहाँ पे डायरेक्टली आके देखें, कैन वी ट्राई टू कम हियर डायरेक्टली, लेट्स सी विच इज बेटर. तो फर्स्ट थिंग वाज सम which we were calculating. Okay, we will take this sum, we can come here directly. That I will take. But I will consider one more thing, that if you will directly come to this mn, then what will happen? And if you will directly come to this current index, what is the difference between index? तो difference between index will be कि हमारा current index ind पे था, हम अभी यहाँ पर हैं, तो difference will be I minus ind, कहाँ गया, हाँ. And what will be maximum of this mn, because mn हमारा यहाँ पे था, and this current index, so maximum of mn comma ai. So what is the value, will be your final cost for moving from this 0 to 3. यहाँ से यहाँ तक की cost आई है, not total cost, यहाँ से यहाँ तक की cost आएगी, and that will be added to your cost. And now when you have got the minimum cost from here to here, now finally your index will become here, your mn will also become here, both will update, and now from here you will start finding the minimum cost. Your sum will also become 0 now, क्योंकि यहाँ तक का जो sum था that you have already checked and you have added it, अगर वो minimum था तो. So both we are considering कि either if we are going one by one तो क्या sum आ रहा है, या अगर if the value where currently are, if it is the minimum value, then let's take it directly वहाँ पे आएंगे तो क्या sum होगा, और दोनों का minimum हमारा आंसर हो जाएगा, राइट. एंड वन मोर थिंग, फाइनल कॉस्ट भी हमारा यही है. फाइनल कॉस्ट में अगर नो फाइनल कॉस्ट में एक चीज देख रहे हैं कि ये कॉस्ट जो निकाली ठीक है, दिस इज फाइन वॉट एवर कॉस्ट वी रेट. अब एक चीज जो एक कॉर्नर केस ये है कि अगर ये तो कॉस्ट है कि इसमें ये चेक कर रहे हैं कि आइदर वी आर गोइंग वन बाय वन, आइदर वी आर डायरेक्टली जंपिंग, एंड देयर इज वन मोर डायरेक्ट जंप विच वी आर एक्चुअली नॉट कंसिडरिंग है. वो जंप होगा डायरेक्ट 0 से 4 तक. तो वी विल डायरेक्ट जंप फ्रॉम 0, डिफरेंस विल बी, इंडेक्स डिफरेंस विल बी n-1, तो 1 minus n will be n-1, and the other will be maximum of a0 ai. So this is direct jump from 1 to n, and whatever cost we have got here, that will be a thing, minimum of that will be the answer, right? So guys, I can understand this was a really complex problem. If you have actually have explained it out, you can ask that to me in the comment section, or you can join our Telegram channel, right? You can ask me there this particular doubt, right? I hope that you got this particular video, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you got this video. Please hit the like button. Thank you for watching. Thank you.